34,117 minutes, 568 hours, 24 days, 3 weeks. That is how long it's been since August 29th, and how long I've been waiting to see these Union Jordan 4s in hand, and they finally hit my doorstep yesterday. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If it is your first time touching down on this channel, welcome to Small Feet Big Heat. We talk sneakers, we talk streetwear, and everything in between. In this box, I have a pair of Union Los Angeles Air Jordan 4s in the Off Noir colorway. I did go ahead and look at them already, I'll admit that. It was a highly anticipated release for me. I've been wanting these for a very long time, looking out for them and waiting for the release. And also, when I hit on the Union LA site, it made getting them that much sweeter because it was for retail. I had no doubts that I would like this sneaker once I got it in hand. I've liked it since the first leaked images started to circulate. Now, there were a few choices that Union made on the shoe. There were a few details that I wanted to see for myself, feel for myself. However, I knew from the jump that I would pick this up from my collection, and that's kind of the way you have to move in 2020 with bots and resellers and every shoe or almost every shoe selling out in 2020. You have to cop first, ask questions later. There are free returns on most sites. These, if you pick them up and decided you didn't like them, they're going for resale value. So definitely pick something up, pick a sneaker up for retail if you're questioning whether or not you like it, because you might miss out completely. Starting with the outsole and midsole on this sneaker, you'll see that they're both the same color, which was an active choice by Union, changing up the color blocking just a little bit. When you normally look at Air Jordan 4s, the outsole and the midsole are two different colors. For reference, I have another Jordan 4 here, the Air Jordan 4 Thunder. If you look at the color blocking on this Air Jordan 4 Thunder on the midsole and outsole, you'll see that the midsole is yellow and the outsole is black. On the Union Air Jordan 4, they went ahead and decided to make both the outsole and the midsole this same cream yellow color. While I really like the choice they made with this cream yellow color, I think it works really well with the muted accent colors on the shoe. I will say it does not give me fast-forwarded Air Jordan 4 or vintage Air Jordan 4 vibes. It's a little bit too opaque and too bright for that. If you look up a pair of Air Jordan 4s from like 1989, they definitely are yellowing, but it does not look like this. While we're on the midsole, let's talk about what color they chose for the air bubble. It is red inside of there, and that plays well with the rest of the red accents on the shoe. I don't know about you, but when I look at sneakers that do have air bubbles, my eyes are immediately drawn to it to see if the color inside matches the rest of the shoe, does it complement it, or does it throw it off completely. The majority of the upper on the sneaker is suede and mesh, two materials that we have seen before on an Air Jordan 4, but not quite in this way. This black suede that they use does feel really nice, but more importantly, I want to mention that it's black suede and it is dark and consistently black all the way through. There are no light spots and there is no ashiness. So I'm going to give quality control and materials on this pair a solid B+. There was definitely a few nitpicky areas. This piece right here is kind of bleeding into the rest of the sole. Minute things like that. But as far as overall quality control and materials, I'm going to go ahead and give them a B. The contrast of white stitching on black suede is a detail that I love, and there's enough other white hits on the shoe to complement it, such as the mesh pockets on both sides, the mesh used on the tongue, and these little lace holders or eyelets at the bottom of the shoe. Another detail of the shoe I like are these translucent pieces. Is it different? Yes, maybe even a little out of place, but it does remind me of my initial reaction to the shoe, and that's this pair feels like a sample. It feels like maybe they turned a Jordan 1 inside out with the contrast stitching. It just feels like something so far from what we normally see with an Air Jordan 4, and I'm cool with that. I like it a lot. Something that I've never seen done on a Jordan 4 is the mesh on the toe box and the mesh on the back heel. I will say that the mesh does feel good quality. It's durable and like an athletic, sneaker appropriate mesh. It doesn't feel too light or too flimsy. Getting into the last two choices Union made that really make this sneaker stand out, the first of which is on the toe box. If you look at the toe box on this sneaker compared to a traditional Air Jordan 4 or a usual GR Air Jordan 4, you'll see that Union went ahead and added an extra piece on there. Your eye should be immediately drawn to it. I know mine was as soon as I took it out of the box. Now, I've had a full day to look at these and get used to it, and I have to say I'm not mad at it at all. With all the other changes on the shoe, that one honestly kind of looks a little minute. It's about that time we talk about the part of the shoe that had people so up in arms, and that is the short tongue. When we first saw images of the sneaker, we did not know that the tongue flipped out to be a full-size Air Jordan 4 tongue, and all you had to do was cut the stitching on the back. People were not messing with the short tongue vibes at all, and I can understand that. It is a trend from the 80s, and it's actually why the Air Jordan tag is upside down on the Air Jordan 4, so that when you fold it over, it's upright. I'll be leaving my pair like this, but quick tip, if you do decide to cut the stitching on the back of your pair, hit the tongue with a steamer for just a couple of seconds, something light so that you get that nice, crisp Air Jordan 4 tongue, and it doesn't have those deep creases in it from being folded down. It looks 10 times better. Even though I got these for retail, it still wasn't cheap. $250 retail, almost $300 shipped. So you do get a hang tag included and a pair of golden yellow laces. I'm ready to throw these on, so let's get to the on-foot footage. So we are back with my final thoughts, and I'm calling it right now. I think we're going to see a lot of people start to warm up to these, people who didn't like them in the beginning, changing their tune a little bit, trying to find a pair for themselves, because it is a really solid Air Jordan 4. If you like Air Jordan 4s, I really don't see why you wouldn't like this one. Yes, Union took some liberties, changed a couple of big things, but it makes for a good collab. I think I like this pair better with the golden laces in it. It adds another color to the shoe, and the golden laces are bright versus the accent colors on the shoe, the blue and the red, which are more muted tones. Speaking of muted tones, I know the two blues in the on foot, the bright blue sweatpants and the muted blue in the shoe, don't match. That was intentional. I like the contrast between that bright blue and the muted blue on the shoe. I think it looks really cool. As far as it being a follow-up to the Union Air Jordan 1 collab, or a sophomore album as they like to call it, I think it holds its own. It's familiar without being redundant, and I think that's what they were trying to go for by implementing the colors, but on a different silhouette and going for a different look. I will say, now that I have my pair in hand, I'm hoping people stay asleep on this collab for just a little bit longer so that I can get that Guava Ice pair. If you enjoyed today's video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, show us more YouTubers some love, and I'll check you all out in the next one.